Hey Noah, did you know that many people actually believe Poodawg was built in a lab, like one of those mole men?
No way, really?
Yeah, it's got to do with those devil worshipper witches that terrorize people in the woods or something. I don't know. Oh, hey, Emile.
Hey, hey,
Hey,
hey,
Emile.
hey, 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 it's me, Poodawg III. What's up? Hey, what? Hey,
Hey, Emile. How you doing today?
I'm doing pretty alright. I'm doing pretty good.
Pretty good, pretty good. You
I'm not-
know, today just a normal average Wednesday. No, we weren't saying anything about you. Don't worry. But anyway, what's
Okay.
it like being, the content creator of the school? What's it like being the guy with the YouTube channel?
Well, it's interesting because, like, I'm the guy that everybody's like, oh, hey, is that Poodawg III? Oh my gosh, guys, hey, what's up? And I'm like, yeah, that, that's me.
It's just an average guy.
I'm just a normal dude, Like, I don't even have 2,000 subscribers. Subscribe, by the
You
way.
should. I
By the
agree.
way, you should subscribe.
to Poodawg 3.
I hope you don't mind. I'm going to plug everything.
Oh no, that's fine.
Don't worry, everybody. This will all be linked in the description. Trust me. Trust me.
Okay. Anyway,
No way.
so Noah, ask him some questions. Man.
So, you being in the band, y'all just had a competition. How do you feel about y'all did at that competition as a whole?
I think we did pretty well. We didn't rank as high as we would have liked, but overall, I think we did a really good job. Like, considering at the beginning of the year, we were like, oh, this isn't gonna go well. We got a whole bunch of new people. It's gonna be hard to train everybody, and we came out, and it was way better than what we started with. If I'm
Yeah.
being honest, Lee can vouch
We
for that.
still have our streak of like what is it, 8 years of
Mhm.
straight superiors.
I mean, every year I've been in band, I've gotten a superior.
Yeah. Ever since my brother graduated in 2015, I don't think we've gotten a two.
Except in like percussion.
Well, yeah, but like
Which-
overall in general, like
Yeah.
the overall everything, it always came up to be superiors, which is always great. So
Yeah.
how's it like? What's it like balancing your YouTube with your social life, with your with band, and you're in a lot of like, aren't you in dual enrollment classes?
Yeah,
and
yeah.
stuff
I-
like that.
I could give you like an answer and be like, oh, it's pretty. No, it's hard. I'm not even gonna lie. It's so difficult. Like, usually there's a point where one of them gives way, and sometimes it's school, and then I go on TikTok, when I get home, or I make videos, and sometimes it's school, sometimes it's YouTube, and I don't upload for like 3 months. Like whenever I did the Wizard of Oz last year, I had frickin' can I say frickin'?
I suppose. Yeah.
We might have to cut that out.
Oh, that might have to.
Whenever I was in the Wizard of Oz last year, I had practice like every single day. So
It was hell.
yeah, it was it every single day. Like, and since I was a main character, well, if you don't know, I was the Scarecrow. I do a lot of ASMR on
You
this
do a lot of
on this
ASMR.
podcast.
I'm not sure if that one can handle that, honestly.
But anyways, yeah. So I was Scarecrow, and I realized that doing a play like Wizard of Oz, where it's like a continuation, it's like an adventure story where they continuously get new characters along the way, is absolutely terrible when you're the first one along the way.
You gotta follow up every single.
You gotta
time.
be
You're
in
there the
every
whole
other
time.
scene.
Man, that must have been like really rough to do that mixed with. Did you not like post much whenever you were doing Wizard
In
of
the
Oz?
entirety of Wizard of Oz, because I was at school a majority of like, was it like April where we had like all those practices?
Yeah, it was April. I did not leave the school. I was there from 7 o'clock to like 10 p.m.
Yeah, it's literally every single day it was like that. And then on weekends sometimes I'd go help like build set and stuff, and it just some days I forgot my name was Emile, and I thought I
You
was the
were
actual
the
Scarecrow.
That's crazy. So how's forgetting your name and stuff like that? Does that come along with your YouTube too? Like, do you just look in the mirror and see Poodawg 3 instead of Emile?
Yeah, having the Poodawg 3 identity where just everybody, sees you as like the jokey guy, it kind of can lead to a good deal of random mental crises.
Like identity. disorder?
Identity,
You don't know your real name
something
anymore.
like that. I mean, I always think back to whenever it was COVID,
Mhm.
and I would just make videos all the time because what else was I gonna do?
Right.
And there was a point where I was like, what, man, like, you know those like TikToks where it's like, oh, if your name starts with this letter or whatever, I'd be like, oh wow, my name starts with the letter P. I'm like, wait, no it doesn't. I would
You would
forget.
completely
I would
forget your
forget
name.
my name's Emile.
So what's it like? You're filming another thing coming up, correct?
Yeah.
That's another. You're having a whole other section. So what's it? The movies? Can you give us a sum of the movies that you've made and the skits that you've made together?
So I just pulled the mic. I don't know if that was gonna make a noise or not. But anyways, the movies I've made so far, I made the Poodawg 3 movie. Obviously, that was the first one I did. I wrote that one during COVID with Riverside alumni Rajana Wasti and Ethan Johnson. He used to be a student here at Riverside, but now he goes to Letcher High School.
Traitor.
And I wrote that with them, and it turned out pretty well for what we were doing at the time. We've learned a lot of lessons from that movie and like what we should do when we write a script and what we shouldn't do when we write a script, what keeps people's attention. And then immediately after I did that, for some reason, I followed it up with I think my worst like short or movie that I've ever made, which was Day of the Dog. And it's like my Halloween special from last year. And it was supposed to be similar to like those like movies like Happy Death Day or Groundhog's Day or something where they're in a time loop. But I don't think I portrayed that well because the two characters in it were me and me. If you watch my videos, you understand that there's clones and stuff. It's a whole
There's three
mess.
of them. There's Poodawg 1, 2, and 3, and it's
Did
a big
Ethan
part
Johnson?
of it.
Ethan Johnson just. All right, Ethan Johnson just messaged me on my iPad.
I think he is stalking us.
I think he's a
we're
gang
tapped.
stalker.
He is. We're being tapped.
He's
right
also a skinwalker. We should get into that.
now. Skinwalkers? Do you think skinwalkers are real?
I
too?
think skinwalkers are real. I honestly.
Who
What-
do you suspect is the most possible to be a skinwalker besides Ethan Johnson?
I looked at Noah just now on the.
Noah just raised his hand. Too.
Yeah, we're gonna put in footage of that in the editing process.
Yeah.
Obviously.
Yeah,
Obviously.
we definitely have.
We gotta add in a clip of that.
Yeah, footage. Anyway, so, Halloween special. Are you gonna have another one this year?
This year is actually a different type of special. It's actually a short film. Like when I say short film, I mean like actual short film. Like it's 4 minutes long. I'm still adding finishing touches and stuff to it, but it's not anything to do with like Poodawg 3 or anything. It's called The Grunch, which is kind of a silly name because it sounds like The Grinch. But it's
to avoid copyright, you know.
No. Okay, listen.
Not to
So
avoid copyright.
apparently there was this legend on, it's now Evangeline Road, but they used to be called Grunch Road, and they had this little goblin, little guy named the Grunch, and it's, if you look up the Grunch, it looks like a little chupacabra, but it's also been referred to as the Goat Man or like a werewolf or something. Yeah.
I seen that. You ever watch like them scary pots? I seen that on that.
Yeah, it's like a cryptid on those.
Yeah.
That's what they usually talk about on those type of podcasts. We should turn this entire thing. Y'all should do a Halloween
We
episode.
should completely do it in Halloween episode.
And y'all talk about like
What your opinion is on
little
cryptids and you think
little
vampires
creatures.
are real?
Michael Myers.
Yeah.
Michael Myers, Jeffrey Dahmer.
No, we can't. We
I
can't.
don't know.
That's crossing the border.
I don't know.
So, where did the name come from? Poodawg. I understand the 3. I know
The
you did
3
with the
is
3.
because I'm Emile Graugnard III, so 3. But I don't know. If I'm being honest, my dad I think he thought it was a silly name when I was younger, and he called me Poodawg, like since I was like a little baby. So
Poodawg. Is there a story behind that?
not that I know of.
No stories.
Not that I know of. But
what if we
it's
get
just
your dad on the podcast?
we put my dad on
We
the
should
podcast.
Ask him where Poodawg came from.
Honestly, get him on the pod. Let's go. I think he's at work right now. We should call him up. See where he's.
Call him right now. Yeah. So, your movie coming up, like, what's leading up to it? Like, what happened in the past movies? I could give a basic summary.
Okay.
What's going on.
All right. So you want me to give an entire
Give me the rundown
of the Poodawg 3
lore.
lore?
Yes.
Okay, the Poodawg 3 lore. Okay, so basically, well, my most recent project that I did was called Poodawg Origins, which was the prequel to the Poodawg 3 movie.
Mm-hmm.
And guys, spoiler alert, I'd like you to go watch my videos and go see what happens. I'm looking at you, William Carpenter. But basically, we've got this guy. His name is Zach Vicknair. And let me clarify. None of these events happen in real life, even though we use our real names. Everyone besides me and Mason Meyer, of course, because he goes by QST Sniper in this universe, and I go by Poodawg 3. Well, Poodawg. We'll get there. We'll get there. So basically, it starts off. We've got this little guy. His name is Zach Vicknair. And he's like, man, I want to be famous on YouTube. And then his best friend Poodawg starts making videos, and they start getting not that popular, but they're like 10 views. And Zach's nervous that he's going to get famous, and Zach's not going to get famous. It's a little silly concept. But
silly concept, not real.
Basically, Zach goes into the woods and meets this witch, and the witch gives him an apple pen, and it's a magical apple pen that can clone anything to ever exist. But once that doesn't work, and he makes all the unboxing toy reviews he can, and he still doesn't get popular, he goes to his friend Poodawg's house, and I don't know if I could say this on the. He kills him. He murders his best friend Poodawg, and makes Poodawg 2. And Poodawg 2 is, he basically treats as his son, but Zach's kind of evil, so he mentally abuses him. So he goes insane.
Okay.
And then he makes another one, which is Poodawg 3. And Poodawg 3 has friends like Ethan Johnson, Rajana Wasti, a.k.a. Ratman.
Ratman.
Or, The Ratman. That's actually a movie coming up.
Spoiler. Okay.
Not by me, though. By him.
Oh, yeah.
And then, who else? QST, Sniper, all those guys. He's friends with all these people. And then one day, when they're at Chuck E. Cheese, out of all places, I'm telling you, this universe is wacky. It's pretty wacky. But when they're at Chuck E. Cheese, they notice that Poodawg 3 is acting a little different. And whenever he's acting different, they're like, oh, well, maybe we should go investigate this. QST Sniper goes to investigate, and he ends up also getting killed.
He got murdered.
Bro got murdered by, we find out, is their old friends, which are Rafael Villarreal, former editor of the Rebel Express.
Yeah.
And Andrew Jung and Emily Dewey. Not actually in real life, I must say this is a fictional story that we're telling. But Raph does this for his boss, Zach. And they're trying to get rid of anybody who might be suspicious of Poodawg 3. Because basically we find out they were using Poodawg 3 as a vessel to get famous on YouTube. While he was also like living his own life. And then, eventually, they defeat Zach. And then, once they defeat Zach, they realize that Poodawg 2, they never killed him.
Right.
So he's still alive, and he becomes kind of the main guy in the White Shirt Mafia.
So he's
the new Zach.
Wow.
He's the new Zach, and...
This is kind of like really intricate, you know. This is like Anakin Skywalker.
It's almost like I thought about this a good bit.
Like, yeah, this is pretty well put together, and this happened from a Chuck E. Cheese to like your backyard to like just random places. Chili's at one point, yeah. Former guest star of the Ramblin Rebels, Scott White, might want to check that. Scott White at Chili's.
Yeah, I hear he likes Chili's a lot.
He does. He does like Chili's.
He loves Chili's.
He does. So what's your take on Chili's?
Okay, I like Chili's. The food is good, but my least favorite part about Chili's is the wait. Like, I know the one in Laplace is understaffed, but it's
The wait is just
the
so
wait
long.
is so long, and I'm like, I could just go to like a different restaurant. But the only other restaurant they have in Laplace is like El Paso or La Carretas. Like, what other restaurants do you guys eat at?
Honestly, Waffle House is a pretty good go-to.
W, yeah.
Chili's is
They
alright.
got Kobe.
Yeah, Kobe's good. Yeah, I do like Kobe. I used to always go to the hibachi part of Kobe, but now I'm just like, what's the point? I just go in a booth, yeah, where they cut it up,
Presentation, I mean.
and they make the little, and they got the little water squirter, dude.
So what's your favorite type of food? We always bring up food on the podcast.
Food.
Obviously.
So, I don't know, man. I'm kind of basic. I got like. I'm a really big pizza guy. Like, I like pizza
That's
a
the
lot.
first time we've heard
Who
pizza.
doesn't?
I mean,
Who doesn't?
who
Like
doesn't?
pizza?
He's
Pizza
right.
is
Who
really
doesn't?
good. I think so. That's like your number one favorite kind of food. Or
I've been
like,
I've been
we've had
really
a lot
into
of
pizza lately.
We've been getting a lot of like steaks and
Steak
stuff
is
like that.
so. I actually ate a steak yesterday. It was really good.
Really.
Yeah.
Where'd you get it from?
My mom.
Your
How
mom.
do you like
She
your
cooked
steak?
Medium.
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 Yeah.
Everywhere medium or some places medium.
Everywhere.
Everywhere medium.
Everywhere. Everywhere
You ever
medium.
thought about going a little bit lower for like nicer restaurants? Because that's what I always.
I
look
mean,
at.
maybe.
Like,
Like,
if I
what
can-
would you
if-
recommend?
If it's a
If it's a nice restaurant, you gotta get medium rare.
Okay.
honestly, yeah.
Okay.
Texas, I call Texas Roadhouse. That's a hot take,
Dude.
but I call Texas Roadhouse a nice restaurant.
Texas
Personally,
Roadhouse.
Texas Roadhouse is very
Okay.
underrated.
I love Texas
That's debatable,
Roadhouse.
but I agree with you.
It's very underrated, honestly. Texas Roadhouse is a solid place to go eat.
The bread at Texas
It is
Roadhouse.
so good.
It's
and the
so
butter,
good.
The butter on the bread is just fantastic.
After band camp one day, I actually was invited to go eat out at Texas Roadhouse, and I didn't eat anything like the whole day and I was in the sun all day and I was starving.
Mhm.
And that Texas Roadhouse was probably the
It's-
best
I'm telling
food
you,
I've
Texas
ever
Roadhouse
had.
Is so slept on. Like, it's such a good restaurant. The food is just like quality made. You know,
Mhm.
it's not like too fancy. You know, it's put together pretty well, and then they also have it's kind of like a home food, right?
Oh, yeah.
It comes out. It's usually pretty greasy, but that's okay.
I hear you, Gordon
you know?
Ramsay.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just saying. I'm just saying, like, it's really good. Personally, I also enjoy steaks, but I'd have to say my favorite kind of food, because of how diverse it is pastas. Any kind of pastas, like lasagna,
Yeah.
Alfredo, like everything, all the
Pasta Laya, man.
Exactly.
Any
Pasta
type
Laya.
of pasta is fire.
Speaking of pasta Laya at the school, amazing.
Yeah.
It's just
That
great.
and the jambalaya I really
Yeah.
like. Those are probably my two favorite hot lunches. I've never been that big into chili mac. I don't like spaghetti that
Really?
much. Hot take, I know.
Hot take. That's a very hot.
Very hot take, but I'm not a big spaghetti guy. Like, I like pizza, but I'm not a spaghetti guy.
Yeah, I understand that. Pizza sauce is a little bit
It's
different.
a big difference.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I don't know, because whenever you eat spaghetti, I feel you never know what you're really getting into. Like, sometimes people make it
True.
sweet, sometimes people make it
True.
like more like
Especially
pizza.
here, we had spaghetti. I think it was yesterday?
Yeah, it was yesterday.
Yeah, we had spaghetti yesterday. It was sweet almost. I've noticed that a lot of the red sauce foods that we get at school recently have been kind of on the sweet side.
And people like that sometimes.
I mean, I'm not complaining. Like, I think it's pretty good, to be honest. But it's not. It's different, I've never eaten spaghetti outside of school and had it been sweet before. But
Yeah.
like, it's kind of like a weird, I kind of like it kind of thing,
Yeah.
It's not like the worst, but it's not like insanely great.
It's not like,
Mhm.
whoa.
It's like,
Yeah.
whoa, dude.
So you say your favorite is jambalaya and pasta laya?
Okay, let me think about them now. So we've got shrimp fettuccine.
Mm-hmm.
I do love shrimp fettuccine at the
I
school.
I personally don't eat seafood,
Man.
and I live in Louisiana. It's
Oh,
a sin,
wow.
I know. It's terrible.
I
Going
love
deep
seafood.
downhill.
It's so bad. Unfortunate that I don't eat seafood. All the great seafood down here. I can't stomach it.
There's some people who make. I didn't notice this. I went to Universal recently, and I noticed. I don't know what they put in like the batter, but and some of the seafood restaurants down here too. It does this to me, but it leaves a bad aftertaste in my mouth.
That's exactly what it is.
I don't like it.
It's not good. It's almost every kind of seafood that I've eaten has that aftertaste, and I can't stomach it. I don't know. I've been to crawfish boils and I've had that. It's
I'm a
really
big
strange.
like more boiled seafood kind of guy. Like I like. Also, I've been really into like trying random fish lately.
Random fish.
Because growing up, I never. Okay, wait. I might need to explain that a little better.
Yeah,
Yeah, I don't go into little things of water and
You
just
just
pick up
take
a
a
fish
goldfish?
and just like. I made a motion of me biting a fish just for all of you listeners right just now.
Well, we can have you animate that.
Yeah, we can animate that.
Just
Yeah.
a big old chomp out of a fish.
Yeah. We're not gonna do that.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. But anyways, no, I've been trying like when I go to nice restaurants, I've been trying fish, and it's good. I'm not even gonna lie.
Random, whatever.
Like,
That's
I-
big- oh,
Is it
that's
like
seafood.
Like
baked
redfish.
Like baked fish or like fried?
Oh well. Speaking of baked fish, I have been trying baked fish. But speaking of baked fish, the school's baked fish. Personally, I eat that with my hands, man. Like one time there was this. I love the school's baked fish. Noah was giving me a thumbs down. He doesn't like the baked
Noah
fish.
does not like the baked fish.
I love the baked fish.
Baked fish is trash.
I feel the same way on Noah's part about the baked chicken. You know, the baked chicken when
Oh,
we
the
get it,
baked chicken
it's
is-
pink.
I don't.
It's kinda scary.
It is
honestly.
kind of scary. I don't really like that.
It's
If I'm
kinda-
being
It's
honest.
kind of upsetting, you know, because baked chicken is very good, and we had, what was it, barbecue chicken recently? That was really good, and it wasn't pink. It was wonderful actually.
I never.
It was
I
like pork
did
and
not get
beans
around to
and-
trying it.
It was pork and beans and barbecue chicken, and it was actually really good. That's a new thing that they're bringing on the menu. You know, I think it's.
They're trying a lot of new things this year. I
They are.
noticed.
They are.
I'm really happy. I'm excited for what else they have for the menu.
You can't make it better without
Trying new
Trying
stuff.
different
Because
stuff.
Riverside, I've been coming here since pre-K 4. Just adding a little Ramblin Rebel fun fact for the
Ooh.
quiz at the end. You guys, come on.
There's obviously a quiz.
There's always a quiz
Yeah.
at the end, guys. I aced the Cameron and Jordan Loving one.
Oh yeah.
Just letting y'all know, yeah. But the pre-K 4, since I've been coming here since pre-K 4, I've seen like all the things they've ever done for lunch. There was one point where they had baked potatoes. That was so good.
Mm.
And like they got rid of that. They used to have fries every day of the week, not
Really?
just on Fridays. And you could go get them at Little Recess.
Mhm.
I'm pretty sure because they were on the a la carte side,
Mhm.
not the hot lunch side.
I do.
They just had like little
find
bag
it-
fries.
I find it kind of amusing that we serve fries on Friday. You
I've-
know?
I've always
That's
thought that
kind of-
was
that's a
funny.
little
I've
funny
always
goof,
thought that was
little
funny.
gaff right there. That's kind of amusing. But what do you like? What's it like? Having you play the quads in the band. You
Yeah.
play the tenor.
Mhm.
So you've had people in the past that have been really great. Zach, and then Carl
Yeah.
Freeman. Even Alex Mater back in.
Mhm. I
What,
think that's
2015, he
how
graduated
the
with
line
my-
goes. I think it goes Alex, Carl, Zach, then me. I don't know who's after me
Because
because
I remember that Alex would tend to talk about Carl, like taking him under, having to teach Carl, and they all came out pretty great. So what's it like feeling that you have to live up to that, or
it's also kind of stressful. Not gonna lie, considering last year there was whenever I was supposed to get lessons from Zach and learn all the new cheers, I'm not going to say who I sat next to, but I sat next to someone at the leadership camp and they had COVID and I had to quarantine the entire week of the leadership camp, and that's when I was also getting lessons from Zach, so I got 0 lessons from Zach.
No lessons from Zach.
And I just kind of had to pick up the quads on my own, with just like video recordings that Zach gave me.
Yeah.
Like I maybe had 1 day of lessons from Zach, and then after that I was on my own. And it was kind of stressful because everybody was expecting the quad player to like know everything.
Right. 'Cause
Like-
it's the legendary line of quad players.
And
it's so much, and if you miss out on that, teaching, then.
It's going to be hard.
Because, like, who would have said that Carl would have been there if Alex weren't there? And who would have said Alex would have been there if whoever was before him
Or
wasn't there?
who would have said that Zach would have been good if like Carl
Exactly.
never would have taught him.
Right.
But like I feel as if I wasn't really taught, so I'm still learning stuff about the quads like to this day.
Right.
which is also kind of aggravating whenever you're the drum captain. I'm drum captain, by the way.
Senior, so it's
And
the
a
last
senior,
time,
so they're expecting so much from you.
but
Because I started playing the quads my junior year, and if Go doesn't start the way how Go is supposed to start, that's like a mortal sin.
that is honestly.
And whenever you're still learning the quads and you start Go off wrong or play first, oh my gosh! Don't let me get into whenever I used to mess up first down every single first
I
down.
think you and Zach both had that kind of issue,
Zach would have the
Whenever
issue of
first
not
round.
paying attention to the game, and mine would be that I physically couldn't play it. Now I can. I
Now,
can.
yeah.
Like,
You
I
know?
wish y'all would have got. I wish y'all would, like, I love when y'all get first downs now because I get to play something. But we also started this new cheer. We kind of just play whenever we have nothing to play, and it's called the Michigan Cheer. That's the title of the song, but it's. I don't think we named it yet, like in Riverside terms.
What? No, Michigan cheer? No, we did not.
So it's called Michigan Cheer, and it's like, how does it go? Da, 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 da. Go Rebels go. Da, 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 da. Go Rebels go, and then it's da, 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 da. Woo!
Yeah.
And then-
honestly, that's a pretty.
I
good-
noticed that's awesome.
It's a
pretty
new
good
cheer we
addition,
started
honestly.
doing, yeah.
So, what do you think about like our potential going into next year? Like when you guys leave, a lot of people have said, it's gonna go down, and myself included, I've had some, hard time accepting the fact that
Yeah.
you guys are gonna be gone, and it's gonna be a lot of very young people. It's very young based now.
Yeah, it's I don't know, it's really weird for me to think about because I've thought about like, well, next year it's going to be like the first time without me, and I was like, oh wait, no, 6 years ago I wasn't there. And then but I'm like, well, like it's really weird to
It's
think
almost
about.
like it goes through a whole cycle from when you're a freshman all the way to your senior. But
Yeah.
it's the same cycle for everyone, but it doesn't seem like it.
It doesn't
Like,
because
our
now it's finally
first
happening
year
to me.
Was not the same as their first year this year.
Yeah.
It
Right.
doesn't feel like it's the same, but it might be to them. Like
Yeah.
it's,
Like band is so weird because like you go through like generations of people and you see them like I'm sure for like other sports too, like football,
Yeah,
you get
you see, 'em
you
get
see
better,
people-
and then they
everybody
leave,
just
and then
get
they leave.
better, and then
and you
people
grow up
leave.
with it and it just ends one day.
Yeah.
And it's hard to think about.
Yeah. Being
Like
a senior is very.
it's a
sad.
weird, it's sad
It
and
must be
very
like-
weird. Like I've been going to Riverside since I was like 5 years old or 4 or 5 years old, and just to think that next June, I'm not gonna be like, man, I've got
I've got to go to. Band
I've got to
camp,
go to
I gotta
band
go
camp. Oh wait, no, I don't because
Yeah.
now I'm not.
Do
I'm
you
not
plan
in
on
that.
like coming back?
Sometimes maybe. Maybe for alumni night, depending on where I go to college. I still haven't decided that
Or
yet.
you do plan on playing the band in the college, or like doing something
I-
like that?
I don't think I will because personally, I love the band, and I think if you're at Riverside and you're listening to this right now, you should join band. But the my biggest thing is I just have a lot of personal like I don't want to say trauma from it. But it's kind of just like from the whole quads, like me not knowing how to play the
Yeah,
quads.
It's stressful.
All the stress
College just doubles it. It's like going
Yeah.
into high school all over again.
and I'm already not that good at playing the quads. I think I'm all right now. I'm way better than I was last year, but I'm not as good as like the other schools
Yeah.
quad players, and I'm definitely not as good as the our snare drum player. He actually is.
Tyler.
Like Tyler takes
Very good.
lessons and stuff. That's why whenever you said, do you think we're gonna be in good hands? I think percussion
Tyler's
should.
Yeah, Tyler's gonna take over quads for sure. He has said that before.
He's either gonna take over quads or he's gonna teach somebody else how to play
Yeah,
quads.
right.
And
he has his Instagram page is filled with quads.
yeah,
He's very good at what
he's
he
really
does.
good
So-
because
Wait, Tyler who?
Marchetta.
Oh, Tyler Marchetta.
He's a sophomore
Yeah,
this
he's
year.
gonna be a sophomore.
Yeah. So
He's
he
gonna be a junior next year.
yeah next year he's gonna be a junior. So he still has 2 years
Yeah.
left to lead. And the way it's looking right now, me and Matthew Bieber are the two. We're 2 seniors, and he's co-captain and I'm captain. And Tyler Marchetta is also a co-captain.
Mhm.
And once me and Bieber leave, who's gonna be captain besides Tyler Marchetta? Like.
That's what I'm saying. And then after them, it's really hard to tell. So that's honestly, I'm excited to come back because I'm planning on going to band when I go to college. You know, I want to join whatever band I can get into. Like Andrew joined the Nichols band, and that was a really fun experience when I went with them. We went to Nichols, and I think you went as well.
I went too.
Yeah, that was very fun.
I think, ironically though, I had a good time, but ironically, I think that's when I decided,
Yeah,
I'm not doing college band.
It's a lot.
Like, I was like, I'm not prepared for it. Like, I don't know enough. Like, even if I could manage to get in, because I think there's some bands where you don't have to try out to get in. You can just go. Like Nichols.
But concert, you do have to try, I think. But
yeah. Oh, also percussion, most definitely all the time. People always have to try out. So, and not that I don't think I can do it. I just really don't feel like having that stress upon me.
Yeah.
When I'm going through life, because if y'all didn't notice, I'm on here probably because of being Poodawg III, not because I'm Emile Graugnard. But I'm on here because I'm Poodawg III, and
you want to pursue that.
I want to pursue that,
Yeah.
and like I want to be a filmmaker when I get older.
Like a director?
Like a director, something.
Right.
I always say I want to do something with a camera. I want to be an actor. I want to be a filmmaker. I want to write scripts.
Right.
I want to do something on the set. Like, I just love making movies. I think it's like one of the most fun things. Is that train gonna pick up on
the train? I don't
yeah.
know, honestly.
Has there ever been a train during the recording?
No, but there was a fire alarm. The fire alarm did happen. That was an event. So yeah, that's pretty much the end of the podcast with Emile.
Yeah.
If you have any questions, I'm sure he'd answer any of them in his comments on his channel,
Mhm.
Poodawg III. We will link that in the description.
Please link that. Like,
Go subscribe to him and keep track of his lore. You know.
yeah, my lore.
Coming together really well.
I'm really saying, man. Like, I know the name Poodawg III is funny, but I put a lot of effort into this lore.
it's we can tell it's
very intricate.
It is very intricate. So we want to thank you for being on the podcast. And is there
No problem.
anything else to say?
I was gonna say my actual outro, but I don't do outros, so just end the video.